Hello, and welcome to See the Full Picture, Maximize Your Subscription Plan. I'm Felix Cambu, Solution Specialist for Microdesk. Let's take a look at the Entertainment Creation Suite. There are three options, 2 Standard and 1 Ultimate. Now, one of the standards is for 3ds Max, and the other is with Maya. They're exactly the same, apart from the fact that one has one and one has the other. The only difference here between the standard and the ultimate is soft image. Now all three get Motion Builder and Mudbox. But with the ultimate, you get both Maya and Max. Furthermore, there are other differences between the ultimate and the standard. You can have real-time animation, lifelike facial animation, which is my personal favorite, procedural geometry creation, real-time procedural effects without scripting, streamlined data transfer workflows, and efficient cross-product workflows, and then more flexible pipelines. Now let's take a look at what we can see in 3ds Max 2015. Now, with the 2015 3ds Max, the point cloud control and import is a lot smoother and works better with your computer. All these points are manipulative, and you can transform them into surfaces. They've also added a few tools to help you along your way, such as this section cut that we can see right here. To facilitate the entire process, section cut really allows us to continue our workflow. Each point is a manipulative object, so that means that we can create one-to-one objects such as this stairwell and place that anywhere along our model and use them as reference points up here on our snaps. Also, with the 2015 3ds Max, the point cloud can now adapt to the shadows to any objects that we have in our scene. So we can play around with 3D models and point clouds together and see how that experience would help. As well, with point clouds, the reflections on surfaces play around with those points, and you don't have to create new JPEGs to place on top of that model. As well, in the 2015, all sorts of tools in your modeling repertoire will allow you to do simple things like create a smooth outline on your objects. Also, camera work, ideal for Entertainment and Creation Suite. It'll let you play with multiple cameras at once in your scene and change them around. Now there's not just a single bar, you have multiple bars, and you can move those around to facilitate that transfer to your movie. Textures are also improved with easier to use buttons and applications for your textures. And finally, we also have the stereo camera. For those 3D videos to have a 3D effect, you need 2 cameras set, and you need to visualize the extent of that camera, which it gives you here. Furthermore, let me open 3ds Max to kind of show you a real-time exploration of that. When you first open 3ds Max, you're going to have a startup view with multiple templates. This saves you a lot of time going from studio scenes, underwater scenes, or architectural scenes. There's all sorts of cameras and lightings and time-wasted scenarios where this template will really come in handy. So let me open 3ds Max right now, and let's take a look at some of those features. Now in this model, you'll see that I've adapted or brought into from an outside source, SketchUp and Revit, and it smoothly plays into the model. Now before this, there were some difficulties, but they've worked out the kinks and it goes a lot faster. So obviously making topography with Google Earth might be useful for anyone trying to control the cameras. The design workspace is much easier and has a logical workflow between each step. The ribbon is starting to transform and improve our workspace. So from modeling, freeform, selection, object paint, and even populate. Now the populate tools have improved with the 2015 as well. So here I am just clicking a few paths for our characters to go through. And then I might also want to create a seating area. Now notice the colors, blue and pink, represent boy and girl. And it randomly chooses these. Once I've decided the location for these seats, I can rotate them. And the closer I get to other objects, they'll start to create these lines, these white lines. These lines represent a communication between the two people. So the closer they are, that line will start to connect, and the two people will interact. Once I'm done setting up my characters, I'll just click on the number of frames. It's 300. So I'm going to just bump this up here to 300. Click OK. And then simulate. Down here, the loading bar is letting us know how much time is left. Now once it's finished loading, let's go ahead and click on the play button. And I'll zoom in here, and sure enough, a few people are talking to each other. Others are facing away since I didn't set it to face each other. And here are the paths everyone's taking, so they can cross, zigzag, and really liven up and add scale to your scene. Our Scene Explorer has become a little bit more easy to use, and what do I mean by that? It now has a few extra features that may seem unnoticeable at first, but really come practical. And the Scene Explorer right here, the Layer Explorer, you can do things such as snapping to the side, and then the parent-child relationship becomes a lot smoother. You can actually select certain objects and then throw those in. Before, it wasn't as simple to do that. And you can always right-click. As a quick note, the viewport performance has greatly accelerated with the 2015 model. What used to be jittery is now a lot smoother and easier to interact with. We also have fun new differences in the Maya 2015 and upgrades. The XGen arbitrary primitive generator is useful for hair creation and also for landscape placement. So if you want to throw around trees and bushes, you can scatter those with a lot more ease. In this situation, we've changed a few modifiers to improve the quality of our character's hair, and then thrown in a new texture right on top of that. The physics in general in Maya 2015 are more realistic and easier to use. So all of these objects here fall into place with more accuracy and more realism. So you can play around with, for example, here in tornadoes or other things like that, and have these objects accurately move in the scene. Also new is the improved retopology tool set. Now this really dense poly is not a challenge for the Maya 2015. So after scanning this and creating the mesh, we can actually still manipulate this and rebuild it with our tools, with the retopology tool sets. The extra tool here allows us to push and pull our model and keep the texture the same, but manipulate that on a grander scale. So if we wanted to just have the wall that's very complicated, very dense, we can still click and drag this towards the camera. In polygonal modeling, we have control planes, menu sets organized by common or operational type, and then also the soft selection and reflection tool has been enhanced. So this makes it a lot smoother in control. The control planes allows us to select an object and then move it either in the XY plane, ZY plane, or so on, simply by clicking and dragging our object right there. Mesh control has become easier by allowing you not to leave the current tool when you're manipulating those edges. We also have beveling and Boolean options that have improved for our toolset. And last but not least, my favorite, the Bifrost procedural effects. In order to simulate liquids with high precision and a lot of control. Either create a lot of points or minimal points, depending on how much memory you want to use. Here's what it looks like in Maya. And now for the final output. Let's take a look at the Autodesk subscription overview. It's smart, flexible, and powerful. There are 3 choices, and you get to decide which one works best for you. The maintenance subscription, desktop subscription, and then also you can have the cloud service subscription. Autodesk subscription offers the most convenient, modern, and flexible way to purchase and access the software and services that you need to help grow your business. All Autodesk subscriptions customers get access to the latest software releases or services, select Autodesk cloud benefits, and also technical support. The maintenance subscription is the most cost-effective way to maintain and maximize your long-term investment in Autodesk software and related services. Always stay current with the latest software releases and reap the benefits of flexible licensing rights. Select Autodesk cloud services, technical support, and exclusive subscriber-only newsletter and communications. With the desktop subscription, pay as you go with Autodesk. Software subscription plans. Choose from monthly, quarterly, and annual options for using Autodesk Design and Creation Suite software, and select software products. Cloud service subscription. extend workflows from the desktop into the cloud, and simply collaboration and streamline workflows through a broad selection of cloud-based services. The benefits of purchasing subscription are predictable budgeting and cost savings, the latest product enhancements and software releases, previous version of rights, operational efficiencies, increased mobility and improved collaboration, technical support, and access to exclusive newsletters and communications. Getting started, buy, add, or pay as you go. Buy maintenance subscription along a new software license or upgrade. Add maintenance subscription or cloud service subscription to Autodesk software you already have, and pay as you go with desktop subscription for a flexible way to purchase Autodesk software. Thank you.